Greetings Earth, back with another video. I'm gonna talk a little bit one here, one there, Tiririca, Brazil, SBT, Globo, the prostitutes. They are trying to clone my ex-wife. They're all clones of Paris Hilton. They stalkers, they stalk me 24/7. They monitorize my bathroom, my restroom, my number two, my voice, my being, the way I speak, how I feel, how I don't. The savages and stalkers, they assume my thoughts and do thought-provoking 24/7. Basically, these people, what they do, they molest people when they are children, so that they could include children on other people and adults' conversation, and then each person online already exists a long time ago. In order for these creatures to involve other people into the conversation, which is online and TV, they mark you with a crime, or with a molestation, or with a stalkers, everything else. For example, myself, I spent the last 20 years figuring out what was happening to me, like why my kid neighbor, I have a kid neighbor around me. He's just like effeminate, and he's constantly, his job, there's like this, there's many neighbors, there's one gay boy around me. He's put over there to symbolize the kids in Santa Lucia, where I grew up, where they set this whole thing up. And then there's a kid everywhere I go. He is there to try to piss me off by repeating constantly like annoying things. He create annoying voice or annoying noise, and then he repeats that until he believes that that's pissing me off. That's like stopping my life. He have no idea what's going on in my life, but he assumes that that's the purpose of my entire being. It's the noise that he makes. It's pretty annoying, but he think that's the main purpose of my life, and so he keeps increasing more and more. Brazilians, everywhere I go, they build a school, which there's two schools will represent two cities. The police become corrupted because eventually this gay kids become the cops and the chief of the police. The women become telemarketing, and they position themselves what they call popó, which it calls I call them Berlim. Berlin is the wall of Berlin, and all the women who control all men. They are increasing noise all the time. Every time you go in the bathroom, they make a noise to tell you that we know you go in the restroom. We know when you're going to sleep. We watch you sleeping. We make sure we wake you up whenever, so that they can try to synchronize their crimes and their organized crime, their harmony of crime into your minds and the way you think. That way, building your cortex according to their express orders. Eventually, if you're not as strong as I am, at least I believe, at least I work against this many demons, you become like them, because they will create many things. They will suggest you to tint your hair into blonde. They will tell you to put earrings and nose rings, piercings in your mouth. Many people have no idea what the piercings come from and the purpose why you put them there. There's a lot of older men that they are hitting the trigger right now because they want to feel the same age as I am, or kind of like they want to fit in on younger people conversation in order to keep on moving on the porn industry, which they eventually try to put me into it, and all the people isolated from society into it. It's a cop-out for them to kind of include everyone into it. They lived the 20s when we were younger, and then they mark us, and then they live the 30s, 30s at TV, and then they become famous. They collect all the cash and all the money, all the financial and bubbles and things like that. When we hit 40s, they are in their 50s and 60s, so they try to come back and they relive their lives by sucking our youth from us, and they live our lives by sucking the youth from us, so that they can have many lives. And then they kind of like a Highlanders. And then they make sure that we are always workers, which make us forever modern slaves. They trick dummy people into that they are like they are middle class, but they are not. They give them a car and they give them like a couple children and then a house, and they're like, okay, you fine, you don't need to grow any longer. Meanwhile, Hollywood keep on moving. Hollywood create a system of a bullying. They bully schools, but first the family they mop the whole area to see if that's worth it to die there or to live there or to extract money from dummies from there. If it's not, they just move along. They just pretend that my kid is being bullied in school, so we just have to wrap it up, and then they move. They keep on moving until they find the weakest prey. For example, in my city, it's all left now. They have little bubbles indoors that they pretend to be Christian bubbles, Christian cells that they get together so that the locals can find out where the girls, where the goodies are, where the best jobs, what people are doing, what they are wearing, what they are talking about. But the main character is one person that they separate from society, either like a guy that they're going to kill in the future, or a guy that they're going to keep like me away from society. They take my rights from me. They corrupt all police around me so that I won't have a rights. They quit Brazilians public servers so that no one notice what it's being done to me. They keep on threatening. They keep on putting teenagers outside, like jamming a motorcycle, showing to me like, oh, okay, whenever you're ready to move, go to jungle, we are there to kill you. Then there's a gay kid behind, always making the noise, annoying noise. And then there's fat ladies everywhere because they're all left behind, no men want to be with them. They start conversations that every time you're gonna eat, they relate your eating time with shit. They relate your eating time with ass, with butt, with butthole, everything they relate to butthole. And then women become more and more shallow. Most of them, they develop this cynical way of smiling that they are trying to provoke me with the woman that they supposedly married me 10 years ago when they made the state fraud in the United States, San Francisco, California. They have maybe, let me see, FedEx, Home Delivery, Corporate Express, Velocity, Office Depot, and then DHL. They have 6 companies that they can work with by doing state frauds. As of right now, I claim they stop. When I try to make money, they stop all the business. Every person goes to jungles. They go do survivor tasks. They go to farms so that I will make no money. Whenever I open a business, everything gets shut down. That's why I don't believe in coronavirus or any other virus for that matter, because that's what they done. They done this before. They create virus. There's a lie. Back in the day when I was trying to make money, they started saying that the world was ending, like about 2012. They said the world was ending, that all of us, we should start buying things and start making bug out bags. We should flee to the mountains, flee to the jungles. I did that too. I didn't literally made my bug out bag. I just did lately. But back in the day, I didn't do it because I thought it was madness. But a lot of people, they blow their credit cards. A lot of small families, they blow their credit cards because before we used to believe in at the TV news, wasn't this nasty thing that they do right now. It's just like some real horny prostitute women talking at us 24/7, yapping, and they are looking within us. They are looking within us so that they can relate, and they work with our family, with our mother, with our siblings. They eventually betray us for money, or for careers, or anything else, to tell them everything about us, specific things. These people will travel to our childhood areas to pay our supposed enemies, or people that they create as enemies, or people that always envy us. People like myself, they never had anything, but always had someone envy it. And then they learn things, and they collect our history of life and things that we used to do when we were a child. And then they bring everything to the main character, which is a woman. Her name probably will be Nicole. It doesn't matter the last name, Nicole Paris, Nicole Coulivan, Nicole Place, Nicole Shine. That doesn't matter. It's only Nicole because they need the name N for organized crime and state frauds. For me, these people are all crazy. For me, they're all suicidal. The globe, there is a game, and we all know the game. Not all of us, some of us do, but the ones that don't know the game, they keep living as our obstacles. As we grow old, many of these dummies, they are competing with each other for success. Oh, what am I gonna be? How am I gonna overcome life and show off? Am I gonna be a doctor my second life, when I die? They play this dying thing as if we just can die. We die every day, basically. But these people, they don't have any religion. They don't have any authorities that they have to respond to. They just play life as they go. Americans, they have a bunch of real estate that they can just walk in and out. If you're an American, if you're a citizen, you can just walk in and out. You can sell, you can open house, you can create galleries of arts. You can play around with Jesus' art, because we all know that art belongs to Jesus. So Satan, which is most of satanic people, are Americans. I love America, but most of them, they are Americans. There's a little bit satanic activities in the Middle East, and most of it in Africa. So these people are positioning themselves in a way that there will be no way for any other person. How can you ever surpass Trump? How can you ever take Kim Kardashian out of the air? For example, Kim Kardashian, I don't have anything against her. I like her. I like the environment. I like them. I just don't like them when I'm watching them. I can feel them trying to convert me into a homosexual. Sometimes I'm just listening. I'm just being amused. I'm because it's pretty sexy, the way they speak. And it reminds me, Paris sometimes reminds me the things that I used to dream of when I thought that life could be, I couldn't reach out for my dreams. But I just don't like when I feel the energy coming from them, they try to convert you into it, They don't say anything, but I can feel it. I've been in a room full of women, and they did try to put their power on top of me, because they thought, okay, he's just going to give up. They try to hypnotize you. And it's funny, because I'm there and I'm hearing, and I'm just like, oh, wow. And sometimes it's worse when it's your family, or when it's your family or your friends, and then they try to convert you into a homosexual. When you realize that you have no one, you have parents, you have friends, you have where to go and all that. But when you realize that you're alone in life, that it's only you and maybe God there for you, that everyone else is out there to get you, to try to turn you into homosexual for popularity, and to try and make money off of you and stuff, or whatever the purpose is. But that's the truth of it. Good to talk about the truth. The truth, when it comes to Americans, they're teaching other savages as well. They use the truth to relate to humans' bottom. I like to say bottom, but they're actually really relating to your butthole, your asshole. Americans, they are separated now, all in blondes. All blondes now, they are fishing for tall men, and they are trying to be gentlemen, but they are actually they're stealing again. They steal many generations from people. It's not going to be easy for them to steal when I'm around, because by the way, Paris Hilton is just staring at me because she wants to see my tattoo, which it's a curiosity of my ex-wife. And this whole organized crime, I don't understand why they did this, but that's why she's doing that. Might be a coincidence, but that's what I think that she's staring. And probably she will relate my hands to my brother and my father, because they are trying to fool them as well in a second comeback of mine, to try to really hit me big this time. Moving on. Brazil, I feel sorry for Brazil, for the struggles. I see a bunch of old men begging for people to please pay attention to me, please click on my video. Please, my videos are horrible too. There is no followers, but I'm just testing. I'm just practicing. Eventually, I'm gonna work on videos, and I'm gonna. This is not even the account that I'm gonna use. I have an account that is professional. That I only deal with clients and people that are serious about entrepreneurship. This is just to kind of we call it desbaratinar, put the cockroaches away. This is just something that I'm telling you, look, I'm here and I feel you, I hear you, I know what you're doing. All you Gutenbergers, motherfucking Gutenbergers out there, You know the rest. I know what you're doing. I know what you're there for. Most of you are like a prostitutes, from male prostitutes and female prostitutes from Hollywood. You're there fishing for a gig of a movie, which you steal from society, you steal from poverty. It's none of my business, but I'm a poverty too. I'm a business. I'm a people too. Stole it from me. What is left for me? What is left for society? You already record all the movies that can be recorded, all from all kings all the way to all the princes. You record all the literature movies. There's nothing left for us. There's no job. After you make 30 years old, you already destroy our lives, and we spend most of our lives running away from your homosexuals. When you make 30 years old, when you complete 30 years old, put us in the stage of a Jesus Christ, like a black sheep. After we are 30, in our 40s and so on, we are done. We're ghosts. There's no women. There's no sex. There's no coffee place. Women pressure. They literally manipulate men not to go out with other men. They separate us from each other. We no longer have like conversations, deep conversations as we used to. Whenever we're talking to another man, there is some woman inside him watching and looking within. We can tell that her manifestations comes out when we're talking to men. She is working on each or one of us in a way of like, flirt with him. She kind of express orders to men to flirt men with each other, or to compare each other, to feel bad about each other when one looks worse than the other. Then she kicks in with the manifestation so that the other party can see that she is in control. And she's kind of is. She's in control of real estate. She's in control of our custom service, RH in Brazil, which controls all the outsources, and she decides who's going to work, who won't, who's going to have sex, who won't. If you're in a bar and if you feel like picking up a woman, if you're really not in a good terms with women, you're going to walk out alone, always. She's going to make sure that you drink your ass off until you pass out. All your ideas, all your life of gold lives, your life goals, she will steal for her. For example, this Mercedes 300 SL, I love it. It's 1955. It's me. I wouldn't pick up the red. It's too flashy for me. At this point in my life, I wouldn't pick up the red. I would pick up like maybe a blue, maybe a black, maybe a silver, but not the red. I would leave the red for the hot shot out there, or the madman, or whatever, the daredevil. I would leave that one for him. That's more like with a number. It's more like a real rich entrepreneur, like undercover boss. I would leave it for him. But you see, whenever I look at things like this, she already assumed my thoughts. She already, hers, them, they already take my ideas. They already claim my stuff for them. Even though I'm in my own country, they assume that just because I'm an American, I have no rights as a person, even to dream. They try to take that from me. When you're trying to crack a joke, they break the surprise for others. Each and every time that you go try to be a comedian or on a crowd, will be a girl. I named her Heather. There is a purpose for that. I named her Heather. Every time you go sing or crack a joke, be a joke or comedian, try to make money or try to explode the internet with your video or anything like that, there is a Heather. There is a woman in there that she will weak your presentation. She will weak your performance. She'll make sure that no one laughs. She'll remind people about bad things about yourself. She'll remind people about your bad history. She'll make sure that people are angry. She'll make sure that there is Afro-descendants and gangsters around so that she can press their triggers and manipulate them to attack you, to approach you, to hit you, to swing at you. Eventually, this organized crime, it's not only women, there's a lot of men and a lot of homosexuals doing that too. They work in a way that most muscle men will work for them automatically. If you see when you're around women and men, women, they are kind of talking over men. If you look back in the days, women couldn't speak for men. Or if you're a king, you have a queen, she should not take the king's place and speak for him to men. Men would be like, well, that's disrespectful. She's disrespecting her own king. And a lot of women, they do that. She's almost saying like this, oh, I'm a queen, I'm a bitch, and I will talk as the way I want. I want to be raped by all of you men, and I will demand how I wanted to be raped, and everyone just shut the fuck up, and that's it. That's what she's saying. That's not the way men do. If you pay attention, I'm not gay, but it's nothing to do about gay anyways. What I'm saying, I'm just saying this because most of macho men and ego men out there. But if you pay attention, men even when they're enemies with each other, they respect even the laugh. When a man is laughing, we know what's all about. I won't be cracking all the codes about men here because women already know so much about us. So imagine if I crack everything. I can't. But even the laugh on men, some boys didn't grow up with a father or didn't have the experience, so they do not know what's going on when they're around men. I know because not only movies from back in the days, we kind of notice what's going on. You know, these people claim to be gods, but they can't read visual arts, and they're always doing garfies. They're always constantly doing the wrong thing. They're constantly embarrass other people. I seen it. I seen on TV. I seen people cry on TV. They go to do a performance. When you go do a performance, especially singing to like some Simon, whatever they are, you're going there. You're not going there for yourself. You're going there like, oh, this is my shot. I don't know when I'm gonna have another shot. Most of the kids, this type of kids, they're waiting outside some stadiums, some 49ers stadiums for like maybe 2 days, maybe a week until their performance. They don't drink. They don't drink water. They don't eat. They just prepare. They're nervous, and when they get there, they will put. It's like an animal hunting. They will put their last energy. Then they put their last energy. It doesn't matter if they don't know what they're doing, if they're bad, or if they didn't prepare themselves. Yeah, you should prepare yourself to go see some lions, some sharks in front of you. You don't go unprepared like I used to be that way. You should prepare yourself before you go in front of them and try to find out more about them so that you can kind of like touch the spot the right way and if they like or not, and so not, and what's not. I like that. But anyways, I seen people crying, moms going there and yelling each other and all that drama. Yeah, it's pretty okay. You're trying to make a reality show with people, but we all know, at least I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to implement. You're trying to demand people that we all should have a GoPro in our heads, recording everything that will benefit only you people, only you lawyers, only you corrupted and fake organized crime courts. And all the money washing, it's like, if I was you, I was embarrassed. I feel so sorry for you, even though I have not even one dime in my bank account. I try so hard to try to blend in, to fit in. You keep on bringing this bunch of Jewish people with a beer. He's like a Drake mixed with a Jewish, always making an ass face, always smiling like nasty. He represents the gangsters and drug dealers and traffic of women, and he think he's the shit of everything. And then he's always like threatening people. He can kill, he can murder, he can swing at anyone, but no one. If I do that, I go in jail. I don't understand the police. I don't understand the law. When you give like this much power to black people, for example, Will Smith uncle. Who is Will Smith uncle? Will Smith uncle. It's a icon that he has like a whole root of it. That it's him. And then there's that guy that did what he did with a car against me. And then they placed a new guy on my neighbors here, which he looks the same, and he's constantly pissing me off. And then he has a child as well. There's always constantly, it's like this. When you see a child, and a child like you, for example, a lot of kids like me, but there's a lot that they are just gay. And they just want to be acknowledged, and because I don't acknowledge them, they keep on pissing me off, and they use all their energy to piss me off, and their parents sees it, and they kind of like, oh, I don't give a fuck. You can piss him off. He doesn't have anyone for him. No one sees, have no testimony. His family doesn't care. But we all know that the kid is not playing. We know when a kid is playing. First of all, Brazil is all wrong. These people, bunch of criminals. If Brazil had law, these people couldn't leave their kids yelling outside in the street, just out and about all the time, yapping, like this annoying noise. They should take him to a park. It's not my place to teach grown people to how to raise their children. At 6 o'clock in the afternoon, he should be in bed, bathroom and bed. Not minding my business when I go take a shit. Not yapping at me, not yelling at me, not trying to create situations so that they can find a way to steal my family's property, which is that, for me, that's the purpose why they put a black guy next to us yapping all the time. They tried this before. They succeed in California and in San Selmo, and because my family is small, they keep on doing this. They keep on place black people everywhere, and he always have a theory route. This one is a Hobson, and then there's Will Smith uncle that I heard that he died, and then there's Pastor Fernando. His position in a message of peace in South San Francisco, which all the Brazilians must blacks their position for FedEx, which Eddie, black as well, my friend, but black as well, Afro-descendant, Eddie is the main manager of FedEx. Oh, come on, guys. So I'm coming back with another video. This one I'm not going to do this, otherwise they're going to put that gay man, the Xavier gay man. I used to like him, but he's just being weird. So let's find, I came up with this one. This is not a gang sign. I hope you understand. It's not a gangster. I'm not a gangster, but someday you might find out what it is. Take care.